Today we're going to build what I call the ultimate tool rack. I call it that because it's the best combination of least money, simple to build, least time, and most functionality. So stay tuned. The material I'm going to use is 1/2 inch wafer board. It is 2 feet by 4 feet, which is a 1/4 sheet of 4 by 8 stock. It's scrap that I have on hand. You don't have to use this size. And let's get to it. The next thing I do is I use a 1 inch paddle bit. I measure 1 inch down, 1 1/4 between holes, and 4 holes. And then I do some down here. They are also should be spaced out so that 2 of the holes match so that they will fit between your joist on your garage wall. And I drill these halfway through until the drill bit just pokes through, and then I drill the other half from the other side so the wood doesn't split out. There's 2 reasons I build these oversized hole. And again, you want to space them so that they will line up with centers on your studs so that you can screw them securely into the wall. And the 2 reasons are, 1, you can screw into the wall, leaving an inch or so sticking out. Then you can easily place it on the wall on those screws. The second reason is if you mount this on your floor and may need to move it around a bit, give you an easy grip here. So economics is part of everything, and I've nothing invested so far, just a scrap board. And then I'm using these Harbor Freight magnets, which cost, I don't know, roughly $10 a piece, but you can always get a coupon at Harbor Freight. And sometimes you can even get them for free, like I did, which have accumulated over time. So free with a purchase about every 2 months or so. So we're going to space those every 6 inches because we want it to touch the tool in 2 points, because tools are heavy and 1 point may just not be enough to hold them securely. Of course, mount them whichever way makes the most sense to you. And they have a space here where you can put a screw. I use a 1/4 inch panhead screw. For hanging cordless drills and other tools, I found these bicycle hooks from Walmart to be just perfect, and they're about 55 cents, 75 cents a piece, something like that. But first you need to pre-drill a 1/4 inch hole, and then they simply twist in like so. And then your drill will hang like that when it's vertical, or like that. Okay, along the bottom of the board I put a regular old 2x4, which has 2 purposes. One of them, it helps prevent things that get dropped for not hitting the floor, such as drill bits or chisels that could easily get dulled hitting concrete floor. And you can put your smaller items like your tape measure, your drill bit, your drink, your salsa, and other small items. And probably the most important part of this project that you'll never see is a strip of 1x or 2x4 in the other orientation. And what that does is, when you're mounting it on the wall, which probably most of you will, it causes the bottom of the board to protrude from the wall further than the top of the board, which sets an angle so your tools, if they're loose, they will want to fall towards the board instead of away from the board. So you can use gravity for the proper purpose. And finally, let's take a look at the end game here. In addition to magnets, I have simple screws for hanging this rack of wrenches so I can take it off, take the whole thing with me. And again, the magnets are spaced so that tools can span them, such as these heavy wrenches and vice grips. And over here you can see the portable battery-powered tools held with these bicycle hooks. And finally, I mentioned about the slant of the board. So when you have something big like this heavy breaker bar, it will want to fall against the board instead of fall toward you and boink your head. So there you have it, with minimal cost, and these can be completely rearranged if you want to, although I seldom do, using maybe a couple dollars worth of bicycle hooks, scrap plywood, or wafer board, and of course these magnets from Harbor Freight. I have found it to be a lot more useful than pegboards that tend to, if they're plastic, the hooks tend to break, and otherwise they fall off and they just don't fit the tools very well. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.